So in the beginning of this story, we see a man who was a hunter along with his daughter, was setting traps to catch animals, which is a kind of trap to trap anyone. He was also taking out the animals that were trapped in the old traps. Along with them, their dog was also there, and the man talks to his wife through radio, whose name was Anne, and he asks her to go to the town and get some important things. Now there were 3 people in this family who, they used to live here in the forest, away from the city. They used to earn their living by selling the skins of the animals. They used to catch their meat in their traps. They used to cook their meat and eat it and sell the skins. Now they had only one way to earn money because apart from hunting, they did not know anything else. Hence, Anne's husband was teaching this work to his daughter also, but she was not yet so expert in this work. While she was checking, she saw that an animal was missing from their trap. Seeing this, her daughter said that this work must be hers. He has come back. She was talking about the wolf here, from which we understand that this is not the first time. This happens before too. On the other hand, she takes the skins of the animals and goes to a store to sell them, where she was seen quite upset because due to the fall in the price of the skins, she neither gets the right money nor has enough food to eat. After getting the goods, the owner of the shop explains her problem and says that the skin of a normal animal costs only so much money. If you want more money, then you will have to bring the skin of a sheep. But still, Anne was worried, thinking that from where should I get the skin of a wolf? She was also looking at the posters put up there, which were of a rented house and a good job. Looking at her face, it seemed that she wanted to buy a house and also wanted to do a good job, but due to some reason she could not do it. She also does not like hunting. She also wants that we should live in the town instead of the forest, and I can send my daughter to a good school, but because they do not have that much money, that is why she comes back home. At home, Anne's husband was teaching his daughter to skin while Anne was cooking food for everyone. Even at dinner time, everyone's mood was bad because due to lack of money, there was nothing proper to eat. And when Anne's daughter tells that are hunting, Anne starts getting very angry at her husband after hearing that the animal was taken away by the wolf because he had not told this to Anne. She tells her husband to do something about this crowd, otherwise we will die of hunger. Then, after sending her daughter inside, Anne starts arguing with her husband again. Her husband says that wolves like to eat girls fondly, so they must either give them to a girl or to some animal. He might have come with a gratification, but N says that according to me, he has come here because of our family. He knows that a trapped victim will be found here, and he will not have to do any hard work. Further, she says that she wants to go to the police station and report him, but her husband refuses, saying that don't worry, tomorrow morning I will catch him myself, but this was not the only tension. N shows him the same poster of the ad, and Tim asks when like this. I do this, I get a job at a good place and earn money, then we will have a good life, but her husband refuses, saying that apart from hunting, we cannot do anything and we do not know anything. After this, both of them come out, where Anne starts explaining to her husband that, look, you are not thinking anything for your daughter. You have chosen this life because of you. I have chosen it, but for our daughter. She did not get any choice. Whom she could choose, let her do whatever she wants to do. At this time, she should be worried about her studies and not about the chains of animals, and there is no understanding as to which humans live here in the forest. But even after explaining to the snake, her husband does not understand. He says that we live here like this. Our future generations will also remain, which means whatever happens, they will not leave this forest. Then the next morning, when they go hunting for the chains, on his daughter's insistence, he takes her along too, which Anne does not like at all, due to which she talks to her husband through radio. He says that just as I realize that it is a sheep, if the time comes for hunting, I will send it back, which comes very soon, because he had seen the footprints of the shackle. He had understood that he must be nearby, so after explaining everything, he sends his daughter back. He also says that he himself I will come till night, after which her daughter starts coming back. Although her dad had told her not to be afraid, but there were so many dangerous sounds coming from the forest that her condition worsened. On the other hand, Anne was in the same condition. When she was coming back while fetching water from the river, she felt as if someone was following her, so she was also nervous, and exactly the same was happening with her daughter too, after which Anne somehow comes home, but her daughter is not able to come. She sits there scared. Anne's husband also sees a wolf, so he immediately shoots at him, but it does not seem that he would be dead. His daughter had also heard the sound of the bullet, so she gathers courage and moves ahead. After the shooting, when Anne's husband comes to check there, he sees that Bedia is not there, which meant that he ran away from here. But seeing something there, his condition worsens. It happens, and that thing was the chopped hand of a girl which he was eating in chains. Now, after crossing the road and coming to the other side of the forest, he starts moving forward, where he is stunned to see the sight. He was quite nervous, because there were the chopped dead bodies of girls, which were brutally cut and kept like a circle, which obviously cannot be the work of chains, due to which he understands that apart from the chains in the forest, there is only one other person. The murderer is also roaming around who is doing all this, i.e., killing the girls with such guns. Seeing him, he was completely scared that now his family is also in danger because 2 women were also present in his house. He will take care of the wolves, but it will not be easy to deal with this dangerous murderer. After coming home, he was sitting silently thinking about this only. His sleep and appetite had gone as if at home. He did not tell anything so that his family would not get scared, and now he will do something to protect his family. The next day when Anne opened her eyes, her husband was missing, because he had again reached the same place where he had seen the dead bodies of the girls. He actually told Anne that even if I have to stay the whole night to find the video, I will stay, so don't worry about me. But in reality, he was not looking for the wolf but for the murderer. When Anne and his daughter were on the riverbank, he was looking for her. The daughter sees that her dog is not there, so she goes to search for it, but suddenly she comes across the same wolf who starts moving towards them. Seeing him, Anne starts shouting loudly, because this was the first idea that came to her mind. And her idea also turns out to be successful, because the wolf had run away from there, and now both of them, mother and daughter, immediately come to their home without wasting time. But because their dog was left outside, they took the gun and shot him. She tries to search where she finds the dog, but it is dead, because the wolf had also finished its work. Anne is very sad due to his death. She comes back and lies to her daughter that the dog has not been found yet. When your dead comes, we will find it. She did not tell her daughter about the death of the dog so that she would not get scared, so that she would not feel that her life is in danger. So here we are told that the name of this movie is Hunter. Why is there a hunter? Because, in reality, this hunter family is trapped between 2 hunters, both of whom are in danger of their lives. One is a wolf and the other is a murderer. Well, now it's morning like this, but Anne's husband neither came back nor received any call from him. Both mother and daughter then go to check their traps, where even today one of their victims was missing. There Anne found it in a ring, and immediately she saw it. She trembles because it must be that of the girl who was eaten by the bard. That is why she goes straight to the police station to report against the elder so that he can be caught. On the other hand, the boss of the police officers, who is returning to the police station after carrying the dead body of a child, sees an empty car on the way, which he looks at carefully at first, but without paying much attention to it, he comes to the police station where Anne was already present and tells him the whole story. She tells him that nothing can be done because your area does not come under our control, and also we cannot catch the mob because there is no fault of his. He is not a human being, he is an animal. He has no understanding. He is just doing what is his habit, what he has always been doing. You live in the forest. If you hunt, then it is 100% your fault, and not the shackles. So if action is taken, then it will be on you people, not on the shackles. But now there is no help. That's why Anne has to get some food and come back home. Then she buries her dog and kills a deer and brings it home with her. It was wrong right now, but they had to do something to eat. She had no clue about her husband. The food is running out, so now whatever had to be done, Anne had to do. Anne then, along with her daughter, takes off the skin of the deer, after which both of them cook it and start eating it. Suddenly, she senses some movement on the radio. Anne is speaking, but there is no clear voice coming from the front. Then at night, when both the mother and daughter were sleeping, suddenly their eyes open because the sound of someone shouting was coming from the forest. When she goes to check, we see that Anne is not Hisser, but it is some unknown man who was very injured and was asking for help. Then Anne leaves her daughter back home and puts the man on something and takes him to her home. On checking, a radio is heard near the man and the condition of his leg was also very bad. Now this night also passes like this. Next morning, when Anne's daughter comes to her, she is very scared because of her eyes opening suddenly. She immediately calls her mom. On her request, Anne gives her water to drink and also puts stitches on the wound on her leg. Seeing this, Anne's daughter feels strange. That's why she tells her mom that Dad had told her to never trust a stranger. Anne says, "Look at his condition. He is so injured, and if your dad was here, she would have definitely helped him." On the other hand, when the boss was coming to the police station again, he sees the car parked there again, due to which he understood that the car was parked here for the last 2 days. He gets down from his car and starts looking around, and when no one is seen, he notes down the number of that vehicle. When the young man wakes up, he tells his name. "My name is Lou." She asks him that if not many people come to this forest, then what were you doing here? On this, Lou tells that this is my specialty. Actually, I had come to take pictures of this forest, but my car broke down on the way, so I proceeded on foot into the forest, where while driving, I was attacked by someone who might have been a wolf, because I haven't seen him, and the car, which has been standing for so many days, is mine. Now his condition was so bad that he needed to be taken to the hospital, but if the wolf was there, she couldn't go, because if the wolf was there, they wouldn't be able to run away. Anyway, N tries to take him to the car with the help of her daughter, but on the way, Lo starts screaming in pain. That's why they have to come back home again. Both the mother and daughter had now thrown the pieces of poisoned meat there. He had set a trap and lit a fire there so that these people could escape from that wolf. On the other hand, Boss was deep in thought because people have been disappearing continuously for a long time, especially girls. The trend is still going on. Now, although there was only 1 hour left for his duty to end, still, he goes to check the vehicle, which was his biggest mistake. He was moving ahead following the marks, when suddenly his foot gets stuck in a trap. As if he was moving a little to free himself, his hand was also stuck, which is obvious that now he is stuck here. He cannot go anywhere, and N must have set these traps to catch the murderer, but this poor guy got settled in it. N was standing there with a gun, completely silent, but even after the whole night had passed, neither her husband came back, nor did the chains. When an officer comes to the police station, he finds his wife's voice message. She hears him saying that the boss did not come back home last night. Now the officer tries to talk to her through the radio, but she does not respond, so now she also leaves for that Jawa. On the other hand, Anne had also started worrying about her husband. That is, why she takes the map and goes out to find her husband. She finds a rabbit money in a trap. She has to kill it, despite not wanting to do so. It was sad because it was not its work. Now the radio starts to grow, so they start growing again where it goes to fly away. Because the body of his husband was lying there, he breaks a lot and starts to break up, and now he gets to understand the whole thing, but he has not understood the whole girl who has not been killed. He has not been killed because he has not been killed because he has not been killed. He has not even lost his hand. Enki Hasband had caught him but ran away after killing him. But still, his husband had injured Lo. But he did not bring his life to his house and saved his life. Now this thing was not a shock for N, because she was the serving of the man who was the killer of his husband. Till now he was unknown because he is unknown till now. Because it is now unknown. Because it is now unknown, and now it is unknown because it is now a hurry of the house, and the house was quick. Another mistake was made. It came to her daughter alone with the people, and the officer also comes to that place, and she starts to furious that when someone feels that someone is here, she runs 2 or 3 bullets so that a very long officer finds her. And seeing her, she takes help inside the house, and she is very comfortable to see her, very careful. And she is very comfortable. Sleeping from here, it was not a murderer because she was hidden. Behind the door, the Forion makes the N Paramanla, which is forced to force the gun, which opened her daughter's eye and looks at her. But it is not beneficial, because by then, the police had also been killed in the forest. But before that, she was killed in the forest. But before that, she was killed. But before the police came, she broke up in the forest. But before this, she also had the strength in the forest. Now these eyes see their opinion, seeing that all the police officers move forward in the forest. Then they ask the key of the truck, on which she says that on a condition, firstly where my daughter is. No one answers, but says that even if you do not work in the middle, you will not be able to hide, and you will not be able to kill you. After that, all his belongings burning and starts to misbehave with her. But she gets her mouth in a trap by offering Namoka, and later liberates herself and attacks her and makes her unconscious. Now she goes to the next room and starts crying. After looking at her in the next room, because there was her daughter's corpse, which we did not see that she used to be a man who did not even become an animal in the form. She vows that now she will not leave him and will take revenge for her husband and daughter from him. She hangs Philo from a rope and puts on his headphones and starts listening to songs. After doing this, she starts skinning him just like an animal, because he was no less than an animal. In no time, she skins his entire body and finally his face too, due to which a lot of blood starts flowing. He looked quite scary too. In this time, the police had also come out. By the crisis, N had done his work. He brings his bind out with him. Seeing the police, he was very surprised. He throw his district to the policemen who are left to see that the police go inside and check where he was still alive. But his condition was very bad. That's why he was very bad for him. He was very bad. He was looking so bad for him to see it. Hearing Vogain, N is sitting at one place and singing his family and singing it. And with this, it ends with the film.